We are live. Good morning, party people. It is Sunday morning sermons with myself, Jake, Eric, who goes by Handy, and my buddy Black. So, yeah, I have a couple topics I want to talk about this morning. Two in particular. Let's try to keep it to like 45 minutes. So, let's do about 20 minutes a topic. Does that sound good to you guys?
Yep.
But so here's the two topics I want to talk about. First off is falling off the wagon, which I think that I'm not sure if
wagon?
The wagon. I'm sure you know what I mean, Eric.
Are we really doing this right now?
Yeah, Sunday morning sermons. Fuck yeah, hell yeah. So hang on, I want to give both topics. Let's not get into them just yet. I'm saying Sunday morning sermons. We're gonna do two topics this morning, 20 minutes apiece. And the first topic coming at you this morning is falling off the wagon. And the second topic for you is something called Blue Eisenhower November. Okay? I just want, as an intro, real quick, the picture I have up here is Sirius. That's the name of the planet. It's Sirius. And it's not a planet. It's something about a quarter the size of our moon that orbits in the asteroid belt that has lights on. It's and it looks like it's a planet that got fucking nuked. That's out there, like the fourth planet out there, right past Mars. So I just thought that's kind of an interesting, good picture. And this picture is taken from NASA. They say it's gas, swamp gas, but no, of course it's not. Anyways, unless you want to talk about Sirius, we can get right into.
That would be one hell of a swamp gas eruption.
Right. We can get into falling off the wagon. Get the speaking of which, I said I want to be reflective, and I mean it. I'm holding, like, you guys can't see this, but I'm holding up a can of Lagunitas. And it's 10:30 in the morning.
Wonderful.
Right, I know. So falling off the wagon. Have you ever fallen off the wagon, Eric?
I don't know what that even is.
Oh, like giving in to your addictions.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Right. I think I found the secret.
Who hasn't?
I think I found the secret I'm finding the secrets to this stuff through old age and meditation. Yeah. I think I'm starting to learn how all that works. And it's not as bad. So, I fell off the wagon. Let's talk about it, right? I fell off the wagon. I had back surgery, and then had some traveling, and had some real serious mouth pain all in the same month. And right after that, I was eating carrots and apples and oranges and New York steak and
the stuff you shouldn't be eating.
No, the best stuff. I was raw. I was on the wagon. I was on the wagon, dude. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't smoking very much. I was meditating an hour a day. I was just on it. Bro, I was just dropping intuition left and right to people, making videos every day. And then the lawyers and doctors and surgery and all that shit, and then they gave me opioids, and I asked them not to give me opioids. I said, would you please give me codeine, Tylenol with codeine? And they're like, nope, take the oxy. And I was like, fuck you guys. But anyways, I'm not gonna blame them. I'm gonna put it on myself. I fell off the wagon. They didn't make me fall off the wagon. I fell off the wagon. With the system, engaging with the system is what does it.
If you tell them not to give you something and they give it to you, how is that your fault?
Look, I don't want to, I don't want to vibe there, right? I don't want to vibe with the pharmacy. I know what I'm getting into. I got in a car accident. I'm going through a lawsuit. I'm taking the fucking meds. I got the surgery. I want the money. So I don't want to get into it. I don't even want to vibe there. I'm just saying I fell off the wagon, and I'm just giving some, things that might set you off,
I don't really think it's, in your case, falling off the wagon. I don't really see it
hear me out. Hear me out. This, like I said, my mom is not watching this right now, so I'm going to say it. She watches it sometimes, so I got to be careful. And if she wants to go watch it later, I still want to get a text. So, falling off the wagon for me is like very specific. Okay, like I'm sure it is for most people. You know, like what I'll start doing is I turn into a garbage can addict. I will eat cookies. I will consume lots of dairy. I will take lots of ibuprofen. I'll drink too much. I'll smoke too much. I'll smoke too much pot. I'll jerk off too much. And it just like
basically everything that's fucking bad for you, you're just
right.
gonna consume it way too fucking much.
Right, exactly. I'm a garbage can addict. That's what I do. And so it's like just this wear and tear that like isn't really obvious because I'm sober the whole time. Like you can't really tell that I'm not sober, you know. And so it's easy to hide. Like because I can do that fucking anywhere. Like I can be that kind of addict like literally anywhere. So if I'm a school teacher, no, I can't be doing the masturbation part, but I can be doing the cookies, the caffeine, nicotine I can get away with a lot of times. So if I'm having a bad day, I can have a bad day anywhere. You know, like I'm a functional alcoholic, essentially. But what I've found is I'm like finding that like there's a way around it. Like I recovered so fast this time. I know I'm drinking a beer. I'm holding up a beer to the camera, but like, so what? I've had one beer this week. Like that's the thing is that if I haven't been drinking, like I can save it for my podcast. Huh? No. What
excuse her.
No. What I'm saying is that I'm getting good at it. Like I'll admit it. Like no, I need to get into my podcast. I need to wake up at 5 a.m. I need to fight it. Like you know, and I did, and I recovered really quickly. Like I'm not taking the ibuprofen. I'm getting out of bed. I'm not masturbating. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like I got over it in a matter of days, like just a couple of days.
Pretty good.
Right? Yeah, I know. And sometimes I don't know, Eric. You've seen me slip into it. I've seen you slip into it. I'll go into it for months, dude. Like I'll slip. Like I'll slip hard. Like when I broke my back when I was working for that framing company, dude. Like, I slipped into it for like 6 months. It was gross. Like, I was so fucking sucked up and depressed by the end of that.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be?
Be strong.
I mean, that's what these pharmaceuticals are specifically designed to do. Is
be reflective.
Into a black hole.
Be reflective. Like, yeah, but I know now. Like, I know now what it is. Like, I'm not blind to it. Like, I can't say that to myself anymore. Once you seek the truth, you can't go like, I understand how that system works, and then go, oh, but it hurt me. No, don't engage with it. Like you don't have to engage with it. You know, like you can stay away from it. I'm telling you.
Like I agree with you. However, the shit's designed to ensnare you.
So I now define that as a frustration, right? Like something to be avoided. Does that make sense?
Be that as it may.
But that's honest. That's honest. It's very reflective. Like I am not going to let it be the cause or the reason. Like at the end of the day, if I blame pharmacy, I'm still the one who fucking falls for it. I'm still the fool.
Yeah, but
like I could have just taken ibuprofen. I didn't need to take the morphine. You know, I didn't need to take it. Or
hear me out for a second.
Sure.
Hear me out for a second.
Please. Do
we have a duty to humanity to try and better the world?
Mm-hmm. 110%.
Do we?
Yes, that's a duty.
Okay. That being said, then how can we sit back and act like it's all our fault when we know there's many people out there that lack the will or the knowledge or the intelligence to protect themselves against these.
Because you have to have a more nuanced approach to what you think of improving the world means.
Well, getting rid of all these pharmaceuticals would be a nice start.
No, hear me out here. Like, I kind of want to stay on topic, but like I feel like there's a digression that needs to be addressed, and this digression is that when you want to talk about like bettering society, and I want to put it on this level, is like we're talking about knowledge of addiction right now. It's important for like Sunday sermons. You know, like I want to be a preacher. I want to like take my experience, my real world experience, and give it to people. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted you to talk on this subject, because I know you understand this probably just as well as I do, if not better. We're both like, you know what I mean? You and I are both so close on this, right? Are we in agreement? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because I don't know if I've ever actually asked you that question. We both had our problems with addiction, and we both gone through it and dealt with it and coped with it, and kind of, like, as men. Actually, apart from one another and together, right? We've done it both ways. That's how many times we've been through addiction in our lives.
Right.
So, is it a duty to, like, tell everybody? No. But is it a duty to, like, pass this on to our friends and family? Yes, I do. I do think so. I think it's important to, like, write a book about it. Like the woes. Like, like Bob Dylan, he may talk about selling his soul, but he also will then turn around and tell you the consequences and what that means. Like, did I have a good time doing some drugs? Yeah, sure I did. Sure. But let me tell you, like, it wears on your soul. It's going to require work to fix, like, it's not easy. Like, you just don't recover from that. Like, you're going to have to sacrifice. It's going to hurt to repair your soul. And when you need to,
Yeah.
Right. I mean, isn't that a good way to sum up some of that? Like that knowledge that you gain from it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And please feel free to interrupt me. And if you have a better way to say it, or if you have an analogy you would like to use, go ahead. It's easy to get lost in. I
mean, but the only point I would make, personal accountability is great, but also there's a lot of people out there that, and maybe it's just my bleak outlook on humanity, but I don't think they have the intelligence to, or even maybe just the knowledge, but probably the intelligence also to combat these evils that are out there. Yeah. I mean, all these pharmaceutical companies, their only goal is to sell you a bunch of bullshit so that they can make a bunch of money.
I'm on the fence.
And they know that it's terrible for you.
I'm on the fence about that.
So, how so?
Because I really feel that that if you can do it in, like, the most honest way, and, like, not hurt yourself, that it doesn't really matter. Just, like, reach as many people as you can. And the reason why I say this is, at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to be cliche when I say at the end of the day, because it's the truth. Like, when I'm, like, think about the truth at the end of the day and I'm meditating, I will go, like, how truthful was I with myself about this? And so if I'm going to speak it out loud, I want to be as truthful as I can about the situation. And I really feel this is a belief, like a strong belief even, that if I'm the one who's fooled by the pharmaceutical industry, that it only hurts me. They profit from it. They profit from it. The only I hurt, my family hurts. Well, okay, it hurts my family. It hurts my family. Yeah. Like, it's not good. But it's not good for me. It's not good for me. There's never any time if I'm fooled by the pharma, is it good for me? It's only good for them. So it doesn't matter the reason, the rhyme. It just doesn't. Like, you want to not be fooled. You want to strive to not be fooled by pharma. I like, in a pharma, and like this conversation, someone said, like, I'm the LGBT community is, like, so harsh on me. I don't understand why. And I said, well, it's because it's like victimhood. They like, you have to be a bigger victim. Like, you have to be able to, like, be really willing to, like, talk about all these mental illnesses you have in, like, your pharma regimen. And the person, you know what their response was?
What?
Bigot. And I said, what? Exactly. I said, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm like, you guys don't choose to uplift each other in any way, shape, or form. Like, you aren't trying to get around you're trying to get around your addictions. Like, you're trying to give reason and rise to your addictions, not get away from them. Like, you're trying to find more reasons. Like, that's just so dishonest. And so if you take that to the other extreme, at the end of the day, you're going to be like, you should be a teetotaler. Like, that's the right way to go. Be as sober as you fucking can, unless you're trying to go on a spiritual journey incredibly intentionally. Like, I have some goddamn work to do, and I need some freaking coffee to get through the night. Because what I have to do right now is so goddamn important that it warrants the use of a drug to get it out of my brain while I still have the energy to do so. Not because I want to cry about it and talk about why I like to masturbate, so I have to take this depression drug. Like, you know what I'm saying? How different that is in thought process. Like, I hate to be like this. I hate to like use Joe Rogan as an example, but like Joe Rogan and DMT versus a transgender and SSRIs. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to addiction, and that's why you can get over addiction really fast if you just fucking let go of that shit. It should be intentional. Yes, you're right. Does it make sense? Did I go too far?
I mean, I'm trying to follow.
I like to approach things from a philosophical viewpoint, and so I like to take things to their extremes. And so, like, if you're gonna like take a thought process on something, like, right, if you're gonna go like, well, I need to be truthful about this, you then need to be truthful about it. Like, you need to open up. If you open up a door, you need to go to the next door. You need to go to the next door. You need to keep going to the next door, and then go. And like, if you open some doors and they close it, okay, fine, close it. Stop there. You know, but the thing is that when it comes to addiction, it's real easy to like just keep opening doors in the right direction. It's so easy. Like, you're not going to come into an argument with yourself that says, oh, you should keep doing this. You know, like, at any time, do you really think that like your truth was, I need to like continue on with this addiction? Like, I need to come up with excuses.
Yeah.
I need to come up with excuses on why I need to be an addict.
Did you ever cut out? I think you cut out for a minute, but anyway.
Have you ever had a moment in time where you thought that giving into your addiction was like the right choice, and like coming up with a reason you should be addicted is the right choice?
Yeah, of course.
No, like, really, like, in your heart and your truth, like, you think that's really true?
Oh no, I knew it was a bad call all along, but I mean, I convinced myself of all kinds of things.
That's what I'm saying. It's that same thought process. Like, if you can go down the wrong path, but it's the wrong path, and that's the truth. You can try to convince yourself that you need to take drugs. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, if you go down that whole hedonist path that you're starting to see today, it's that whole rationalizing that into like a good thing. Like, yes, my addiction is a good thing, and this is why. As soon as you and when you see that, and you want to apply any truth to your addiction, you're only going to come up with excuses to not be addicted. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, there's like no good excuse for taking drugs. And I when I say taking drugs, I don't mean there's no good excuse to not ever take a drug. See, this is the thing. This nuance is also important. I'm saying that it's much more akin to the whole, like, Joe Rogan. Like, you should have very intentional reasons if you're going to take a drug. Like, why am I taking a drug right now? Like, we know that marijuana does this. We know that caffeine does this. We know that nicotine does this. Why am I consuming this? And what's the intention behind it? And is it ever good to do this on, like, so frequently, you know, and in this manner? No.
I mean, ideally, you should go through life not ever having to take any of these quote-unquote drugs. I mean, if you're going to live a happier, healthier, more productive life by never consuming any of this garbage.
See, never consuming I feel like that's unnuanced. Like, that's like there's too many things that lie on that gray area of what is considered a drug and what is not. Like, I'm not saying ibuprofen is bad. Like, I'm not even saying marijuana is bad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the honesty behind the establishment of habits.
Well, here's the deal.
Is gonna keep you from
anything habit forming that could become negative. You shouldn't do. So if you take a drug, don't take it enough to make it into a habit. That's all.
I think that's closer to the nuance. I would say, in just my personal opinion, that you would say probably more along the lines of always going with the intentionality of, you know, like having intention. that a good example of this, and I can pull this from day to day. Smoking a cigarette. Like this morning, I got up really fucking early, and I rolled a joint. I hanging out in my yard, making coffee. I don't have chickens anymore, but I was looking at the chicken coop.
What happened to the chicken?
They all died. Fox got in there and
From
killed
what?
them all. Fox got in and killed them all.
That sucks. I'm sorry, Nick.
I gave that. There was one that survived, and I gave her away to a local chicken rescue.
Was she hurt?
Yeah, but she was okay. She's one of my favorites.
Can't you create a better chicken pen where they can't get in there? The foxes.
Nah, man, I'm moving. I'm not going to make any more routes here. It's already gonna cost me like $7,000 to get my dogs to Russia. So.
Okay. Seriously, that much?
Yeah, between 5 and 7, I think.
Why?
Plane tickets, crates, and customs.
That's wild.
No, I mean, think about it. How much is a plane ticket? And a dog crate's like twice as much as a ticket because it's got to be air conditioned, so it's the same price. So if it's a $1,200 ticket, it's like one way $1,200 ticket. You got two of those, so that's $2,500. You got to pay customs fees, which is a couple $100 a dog. You got to do you get your shots and all that shit and your papers. That's another like $500 a dog. By that time, you're up to about $2,500 a dog, and throw in an extra $1,000 each just to make sure they get treated well. And Milo and Rocket are still fucking super healthy, so they're coming with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Milo was fucking gone for an hour this morning because the gate blew open. And he's just one-legged, and he just comes hopping back, and he's all fucking foamy in the mouth with me. She's been running for a long time. I'm like, well, he's not doing fine,
Yes.
Anyways, back on topic. Let's because we gotta end this topic actually. So truth, the truth of addiction, right? That there's, if you follow the path of truth of addiction, like you're always gonna keep coming to the same path. That like the truth is finding excuses not to be addicted, and it really can be as simple as that. But that does require like self-reflection and meditation and those kinds of things to come upon it. It's not easy. It's work. It takes sacrifice. Like in order to overcome addictions, like you're just gonna have to put work in one way or another. There's no way around it. And what I've found is with old age, the established habits really help.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like time. Like I'm telling you, like getting up and doing my thing, and getting going with your day. Go, like lean into feeding your dogs and getting up early and commitments and things. It helps with that shit. Even if like you're smoking while you're doing it doesn't matter. Like just get out there, go do it. Like stop rating your time on like how you're fighting your addiction, and rate your life on how you're spending your time, and you won't focus on your addiction so much.
Well, that could be said for anything. Over-focusing or over-fixating on anything is unhealthy, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and I think that's all like some form of meditation is like real important when it comes to that stuff.
Analysis paralysis.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's end our addiction talk on that. Let's have a more positive conversation. And I talk about Blue Eisenhower in November. Lou, did anybody have any closing comments on that? Are we done with that?
Black.
No?
Black.
Oh, my apologies.
For the
Black.
third time.
You're back. Well, he comes and goes. You got to stop doing that so tough. It's like I'm trying to establish a habit here.
You get it.
I'm seriously. I'm sitting here. I'm trying to. No, really. I'm trying to establish a habit.
Yes, exactly. You need to establish a habit, but at the same time, it's focusing on what you're saying before you say it instead of having.
No, we talked about.
Mouth.
I'm telling you how my brain works. We talked about it at the beginning of the podcast, And then he just disappeared for a while, and so I never had, like, I need to say it a couple times. Like, I need to go, like, in fact, I'll just do it right now just to try to help establish the habit. I need to go, hey, Black, what do you think about this? Oh, yeah? Okay, Black, do this. You know, like, then this. Since I don't, and some time has lapsed, and I forgot that conversation, like, it's not in my head right now. Like, I'm not actively pursuing that anymore. And like I said, I apologize. It's okay to put me back on track, you see? And don't worry, we haven't had a single viewer. I'm watching the stats because I do want to address anybody.
What's the next subject?
Blue Eisenhower November.
Blue, what?
It's called Blue Eisenhower November. Lou, have you heard of this?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking A! God damn it! Damn it! Black, I'll cut it out. No, I will. I'll take the video down and I'll cut it out. No one's watching it. I will. I'll go through and edit it out. As soon as this video's over, I will fucking edit it out.
Well, you can tell him that later because he's already gone.
Oh, did he really?
Oh. Yeah, of course. You just dick smacked him.
No, I did it on accident. I did it on accident. I just fucking.
That's the thing, accident. Though.
There's no one watching. There's no one watching.
Oh, Jesus, that was funny as fuck.
God damn it. Where is he?
He's gone, dude. I told you. Make it up to him later. Anyway.
No, I'm telling him. I basically come back. I'll take it down right now. It's fine. No one's watching. I can totally take it down. Doesn't give a shit. I got a bunch of fucking video editing I got to do this week. It's not a big deal. So, and I actually kind of want to take that on as a project, going through and editing some old videos and trimming them up and putting them up there. So, anyways, Blue Eisenhower November. It's a really cool topic. So I think I've talked to you about this briefly before. I'm not really sure how like deep we've gone into it. It's if Earth had a catastrophe coming. And it was like no human could escape it. How would humanity survive?
Depends on how bad the cataclysm is.
No, like it's so bad. Okay, the people like to use this as an example because it's a really good for the thought experiment part of it. That black holes, we can't really see them. We have to be able to like look right at them and then see the gravitational distortions of light that behind them. And so, essentially, a black hole could sneak up on Earth fairly easily.
I don't see how, but okay.
Well, because we would have to be looking right at it because it could be so small they could like something that's like the size of our something the size of a telescope, or something the size of a small black hole could have gravitational influence over the entire solar system, could destroy the solar system, but there would be no way for us to see it coming. Like our telescopes aren't sophisticated enough to be able to detect objects that small, that close. We'd have to look right at it and know it was coming. It could sneak up on us. Totally theoretically, it's not metaphysics, it's physics. It could totally happen. It's not gonna, the odds of it are super low, but let's just say that was gonna be the case. This is what they use. This is a thought experiment. I'm kind of just trying to give you the background. And this black hole sneaks up on us, and we're like, oh shit, and we see it. We see it, but it's right outside of our solar system. There's no way we can launch a craft that has escape velocity high enough to get away from this black hole. Okay? If we launched a craft right now, it would get sucked in by the black hole. It's too strong. Like, we cannot reach escape velocity, and this is true. Like if a small black hole got inside of our solar system, and we're like, shit, we need to launch something that's because this black hole is going to be here in a month, there's nothing we could do about it. We could not get far enough away from our solar system to get away from that object. We're going to collide with it, and it's going to, like, not only will it like kill all of humanity, it would wipe it out, like erase it. It would get, like, all of humanity would get smeared. It's not like someone could come back to Earth in a long time and find part of us where we get smeared out on a black hole, right? That catastrophic. So, Blue Eisenhower November is this idea is how would you escape that? How could you escape a situation that dire? I said I was going to cheer things up. But I mean this. How could you escape that?
No idea.
Like, use your just like open your mind to it. Just open your mind to this idea. Like, it's so out there, but just open your mind to this idea that how could humanity escape something that we couldn't use like modern technology to get away from? Like, what's at our disposal? Like, what would we have to do? You can get creative too. Like, I'm not saying there's an answer. I'm not saying there's an answer to this. I know a couple. I know a couple that.
Aside from faith, I have no fucking clue.
Good. I like that. That's a good one. I mean, it's like a shot in the dark, right? Faith. But like, so Blue Eisenhower November is the idea that it's not just faith; it's real. It's a manifestation that you could like essentially buffer humanity with conscious thought. That you could like put the brakes on this event that's coming, like in a real physical manifesting way, and it would only take about 150,000 people to do it. And this is like written in a lot of different texts. Like the Mormons believe it in some weird way. The Jehovah's Witnesses believe it. Like this number, like 144,000. Muslims believe it. It's been written in text a lot. And I think what that boils down to is that there's this like esoteric knowledge that says that no, you can. Like we've done it. We've done it a couple times in human history. And it says you can essentially use like human consciousness as like a shield. You know, like, yeah, you can get together and you can like get the... And you see this yin and yang stuff, which, you know, yin and yang is quantum entanglement. Like, you can use quantum entanglement to, like, literally, like, reach out in time in your, like, solar system and work with it, you know? And I don't think it's, like, all that crazy of an idea, even. I think it's, like, real possible. I think, you like, the energy levels are there. Like, go take 150,000, D batteries and stack them up, and like how big of a gravitational distortion can you create? Like focus it through a mirror, you know, like how much of a time distortion could you create? I think that the math shows that you probably could bounce some shit off, like, you know,
possibly.
So that's the whole. That's like, it doesn't get that into the physics, right? Like the theory doesn't, but this is me applying what I know of quantum mechanics to this. And how that would look, like take some theories, like faith, like that's what people say is faith. It's like, and to some degree, I totally agree because that's what all the texts say. Like, you know, like if you want to go study religion, it's going to tell you that. It's going to tell you like, if you're fucked, go meditate. You know, you know, I mean, like everybody, like right now,
at some point, what else do you have to fall back on, really?
Well. So let me apply it to modern day. So this is where I think the Ben really comes into place. And you've probably heard a little bit about this, and it's because I'm refining this. It's taken a lot of thought out of me, and it's really a compilation of my experiences and the science I've learned. It's not like this is just like out of the blue. You know, this is like one of the biggest questions I've asked myself over and over and over again, and I'll solve it. We're coming up on what I think is a technological singularity. And I think that the time it takes to get to the singularity is kind of irrelevant at this point. That we're already there. In like a very real, manifested way. That we've gotten so close to this technological singularity. And let me describe what I think this technological singularity is. I think this is real important, this nuance about it. So we're starting to see more and more aerial phenomena that are out of this world. We're starting to uncover more underground phenomena of like really advanced civilizations. Like we didn't know they were this advanced until our technology got more precise, and we can look at this stuff with lasers and go, oh shit, this is more precise than we can build. And then more precise than we can build for a long time. And this shit's like 30, 40, 50,000 years, 100,000 years old. And like there's just no denying it anymore. Like dogmatic archaeology just doesn't have a say in this anymore. Like they're wrong. Like that dogma's gone. Like they're taking the like leading experts in these fields who do this for a living and like do like, you know, build the most advanced stone structures, steel structures, and they're going out there and approaching this from a very technological, you know, a mechanical point of view, like a very technical point of view. And they're going, no, This shit's 30,000 years old, and it is way more precise than we can produce today. There's no way around it. Like, stop pretending. And so, but we are seeing it just now. We are seeing it with our eyes. You understand what I'm saying? I want to pause here for a moment. We are seeing it now. We could not see it before. We did not understand the precision. We are now collapsing that waveform, and a lot of times we see it underground. Like physically, it's underground. Like we're using, it's called LiDAR. Like it's this advanced kind of interferometry. It's like really low RF radiation. They bounce into the ground. They get these really high pixelated images back, 3D, and they can see these structures. And they can see the carvings because they're in stone, so they can even read it. Like it's high enough. Like they can read this shit. Like they're not gonna let you read it, but they can read it from up here. Like they can bounce it off the ground. They can read fucking everything that's underneath there, and they go nope. They cover it the fuck back up. And they go, we're not letting this out for another 1,000 years. You guys can't read this shit. So, like, what I think is occurring right now is we're coming so close to this technological singularity that we are now backwards in time influencing our past. That we learned how to time travel. We learned how to bend gravity, and we did it not in that far of the future. And whatever we did in the future, we've probably already learned to, like, reproduce it earlier in the past. And then as we got better at it, you're seeing like these fucking sociopaths like go back in the not so far future. And like as you uncover this is what I mean, like as you get deeper into the ground and you read the different texts, you're going like, this group of fucking people from the future went back like 5,000 years ago. They were fucking bloody sociopaths. They had a couple of fucking nuclear meltdowns because they hadn't refined their technology. If not, just had all-out war a couple of times. All the way to like, it seems like they may have even gotten back as far as going to Mars 3 or 4 million years ago and having a nuclear holocaust and not being able to cover it up. Like, it's still there. The traces of it are still there. And now, like, as we're uncovering this, we're like we are literally uncovering it with our eyeballs. On my podcast, I'm pointing at my eyeballs. And I mean it in a very physical way. We're looking back in time now as we dig deeper into the earth. And we're looking back into our own past, our own future. It's crazy, but I feel like it's the truth.
Hard to believe.
These structures are just so fucking advanced, man. They're crazy. The deeper we go, the more advanced they are. The bigger the more monolithic. Dude, this is so crazy. So what they're finding out about a lot of these walls, these big megalithic sites all over the world, they're poured. They're homogeneous. That these are like highly advanced forms of concrete that are made with quartz, copper, like certain kinds of stone that were pulled out of quarries from really far away, that were ground down and poured into these fucking AI generated molds. Like that's what it is. Like this isn't some like random structures. It's like AI generations from corn structures. And we're finding out that AI like can figure out these structures. Like these supercomputer AIs can figure out these structures and go, oh yeah, that's what this is. It's a mold, and it's based on a honeycomb, and it's this super structure that you guys didn't know about. Here's that math behind it. This is reality. This is happening as we speak. Like I'm telling you, we're looking back into our future. Like we learned how to do this in the future. Like we learned how to do this in the future. We went back in time. We poured these fucking incredibly advanced concrete, quartz, copper, fucking magnetic fields around gigantic spans, miles of territory, like it was fucking no thing, and they're all over the fucking planet. All over. Every fucking continent. Almost every country these things they're finding them. Like the amount of pyramids that they've counted up to now is like 270. But you didn't know that. The amount of just a sheer amount of these, like Easter Island, like the more they dig into Easter Island, the bigger these structures are. There's no end to them. The deeper our radar goes, the deeper the stone structures are. They haven't dug deep enough to find the bottoms of these structures, and they keep looking deeper and deeper. Those Syrian, It's fucking outrageous. They can't get to the bottom of it. That they have to get more advanced scientific teams in there, and they have to come up with the funding to get these teams out there. But like when they send drones down in the water, they like stop functioning and fall to the bottom, and there's these like real weird pressure things, and it's like this very particular kind of water, and they don't know how it gets in there. It's too far away from the Nile. There's no groundwater anywhere that's detectable. This water just like generates itself out of these fucking stone pumps. They don't even know how the pump structures work. They're trying to find map it so that they can have AI get to work on it and tell them how these fucking series of pressurized chambers work. And like people go down there and drink the water and their wounds are healed. It's like this like fountain of youth, and it's real, and it's in Egypt, and it's just like 300 some miles outside of Giza, and you can just go up there and drink the fucking water. And it wasn't until like 20 years ago that someone like looked at this and was like, "What the fuck is this thing? It looks like real advanced." And they started doing it in like the videos, and like the real advanced teams just like didn't start going out there till like a year ago. Anyways, Blue Eisenhower November and how this all links in is that we did transcend. We don't have to worry about it. Like it happened already. Like we're not going to disappear. Like we already figured it out. It's okay. Like we will be all right. Like we figured it out. We figured out how to transcend. We like Blue Eisenhower an event avoided. It's already been avoided.
We'll see.
I mean, it already happened. It already happened. Like it may take some time to like figure out how to like completely avoid it. But like we have definitely been bouncing around, at least in our solar system, for quite some time. Like at the very least, what we can say is the boundaries of like what's knowable and travelable like right now is outside of our solar system, but probably very likely at least another galaxy, like us and Andromeda. Do you see why I would say that?
Why?
So, if what we look out at and we see this manifestation of ancient civilizations that like have like Andromeda mapped really well, that have all the like the star systems like mapped out, and they clearly have this technology that's like far more lasting in time and space than we understand, and we think it came from the future. Like we already avoided that crisis. Like we would have to then face another crisis.
But that's making a lot of assumptions and then drawing conclusions on assumptions.
Okay, you're right. I would say that there is some truth to what is written in ancient text, and that I at least have to take
an assumption. I mean, think of it this way: the ancient texts are essentially our modern day social media.
No.
For lack of a better. Right.
No, there's a lot of mathematics and science in it
because somebody put something in stone, and even some of it may make sense, doesn't mean all of it is true.
I'm not telling you to believe the King's List. I'm not telling you to believe the Old Testament. That's not what I'm telling you to believe. In fact, I think you should shake that shit off. What I am trying to tell you is that there is hidden mathematics and science, that there is esoteric knowledge hidden in these that say very predictive things about our universe, about the locations of stars and systems at certain periods in time, like very good record keeping of the stars that are they're at least advanced as what we have, if not more advanced. And it shows that we've understood this as humanity. Like if you just look right outside of our couple hundred years, that like we have been able to map and travel the stars for at least about 1,000 years, and probably for the next like 5,000 or 6,000 years in the future. And so, and it looks like that humanity at some point has had really good record keeping right outside the Andromeda galaxy and large portions of our galaxy. So you could kind of like argue where you'd want to put the boundary that humanity has mapped, and just as like, let's say, I'm using both forward time and rear time, like 50,000 years, we've been able to do this. Then it's pretty easy to accept that our space-time bubble is about 50,000 years. And if that's the case, then we have a really good understanding of what's going around us. Like up to like what's going on outside of our like literally you can kind of map this. Like if you take Earth and put it on a point on our galaxy and look and go 50 and take a radius of 50,000 light years, you're going to look at pretty close to the center of our galaxy, and then you're going to look off and you're going to start getting close to the atmosphere of Andromeda, and you'll have the dwarf galaxy that's got I think it's the Large Magellanic Cloud right outside of our galaxy. You have a good map right there, like a picture of it, and that's a good indicator of our knowledge in all directions, right? Future, past. So like, I don't think we're going to get it surprised by a black hole. I think we have a pretty good map. Like, I don't think that's something we really need to worry about avoiding. You get what I'm saying? Like I don't think a black hole is going to slam into us. I think we've been like we kind of know what's going on around us in about 50,000 light years. You know, like I think we're all right. We've avoided that. I think all the text says that in every direction. So I think we're all right.
You're probably right, but
and I do have a scientific approach to this. I want you to understand this is very scientific minded. Like I'm looking at the science here, like what I've learned about cosmology, astronomy, physics, and what little I know about quantum mechanics and such. Like this, it looks like that's the case. We're not going to have some like weird little catastrophic event like that completely wipes out humanity. Like the worst case situation is like kind of like micro cataclysms. Because we will have enough time to recover. Yeah, like on large scales, you'll have enough time to recover. Like if there's a big flood, or if another planet slams into us, like you can get some people out on a boat. You can get them like far enough away from Earth, they could repopulate and come back. Like you're never gonna have a problem with that. Like it really would have to be something like as big as like you want to use the metaphysics and talk about a black hole slamming into us. Like that's pretty profound, right?
Right.
Having a black, right? So what I'm saying is that humanity's kind of overcome that already. Like we don't have to really worry about something that small. Like maybe now we have to more worry about something as profound as like let's say a large explosion, like a white dwarf black hole pair, something like that could really point some serious gamma rays in our direction from not so far away. But this is like, let's say this is a phenomenon when we go out there and look at it. It's like one in every 100 million galaxies, and we only see so many of them, right? So we know that it just didn't happen that often, but like the odds of it happening are just there, like they are. You can like start learn these kinds of stars, and like there is a chance of this kind of eruption happening that could legitimately put us at that might be a little bit harder. Like 50,000 light year might not be enough. I mean, like Andromeda could maybe have an explosion so big that it sweeps us with gamma rays and essentially wipes out all humanity. Like that could happen. It's I don't know the statistics on it. Like I haven't seen the equations, but like you could ask AI. Like once you get your AI good enough, you could totally ask that question. You know, like it could model that stuff for you, and you could refine your models too. They get better answering that shit for you the more data you got for it. So like then that's why I'm saying you like hit the singularity, right? Like you'll hit the singularity where you'd even be able to see that shit. Like you can see that no problem. And just be like, okay, so how do we avoid that? How do we get away from that? You can't. Like what data would you need to know to get away from that? You could ask it that for anything. You could ask them that about genetics. You could ask it that about how do you make humans live longer? Like what's preventing humans from living longer? What data you need? Like what models?
But here's the thing: humans will never get out of their own way, and there's a lot of realities that will be suppressed because of profit or greed or all kinds of different things.
Ooh. No, okay.
Unfortunately, the world is way too corrupt for us to get out of our own way, which is why a lot of people believe that there will be some apocalypse because humanity can't get out of its own way a lot of the time.
Well, let me bring something up. So this is because I agree with you to some point. I do think that like a fatal flaw is something called compartmentalization, and it's like why doesn't everyone have this technology? And it's because it's compartmentalized. Like the people who I've heard this a few times now that like really elected officials don't get this information as non-elected officials get this information, including people like the presidents. that they're like intentionally held in the dark and left as actors. They don't want these people having the real power over this kind of technology, and it'll never be elected officials. It'll be lineage and magic and that kind of shit, you know, like that holds sway over this kind of stuff. But that leads to this like such deep compartmentalization and ritualness about the way they go, who they let in, and it becomes so horrific that it's really tough to maintain this established secrecy, and it absolutely slows progress for them. Like when it gets to the point where you have people like Bob Lazar who probably like an intentional plant. They like talk about this kind of stuff. It gets a little deep, but it makes sense. This compartmentalization of being able to like both mentally compartmentalize like the horrors and the crazy shit that you're going to be exposed to, but then also how secret it is and how like each room is like physically compartmentalized with like a white vanilla folder, and that person who's allowed to see that folder is compartmentalized, and the person then who evaluates that folder is then compartmentalized. The compartmentalization gets so intense, and I've heard this is the truth about that kind of stuff, that it gets so like heavy and expensive, and like it's outrageous. You have to keep everyone monitored, and it like doesn't get cheaper. Like the more technology is, the more you monitor these people, the more expensive it becomes. Like in like this self-fulfilling thing, to we get into these like deep blackout places that just cost so much goddamn money to make sure these secrets don't get out. Yes, it absolutely stifles progress 100%. And so everyone who comes out of those things says, is that you're lucky that those people are so evil, they have to keep that shit so under wraps that they can't fucking get anything done.
I mean, they can get a lot done.
Like I said, they say like, yeah, yes, but like it is like they have like, and they also say it's no coincidence that's the reason why you see a lot of this evil stuff, because it's easier to normalize it than it is to hide it. And it's become more profitable, and people are buying into it. So that's why it's a go-to now. And I love this new meme about it that says that like the aliens are going to be real surprised when they come down here to overthrow our evil lords, and we're all into it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, they're not going to be like, what? No, please, yes, they are psychopaths. Yes, you're absolutely right. Get rid of them. Yes, that's not humanity. This is who rules humanity. Please wipe out their bloodlines for us. Go to war with them. We'll help you. Yeah, I've actually heard that too. I've heard this quite a bit. Like I like to hear, like don't believe anything you see, half what you hear, or none of what you hear, half what you see. Be cautious. And something I do hear quite often is that like what we do to some aliens is awful, and that the vibes that people have gotten, people like hardened CIA, interrogators and stuff, like they just can't handle it. That it's not something they want to be involved with, and it's like they won't talk about it because they just don't want to be involved with it. Like, but it's recurring. It's this you hear this a lot, and it's like certain kinds of aliens that they do this to, like, and it's like turned into a war where that's more conjecture. But what's not conjecture is that you see a lot of people who have come forward and had this mainstream thing is that when they have encountered aliens, they tend to be a certain kind of alien, the Greys, and that we're really, really mean to them, that we do nasty shit to them, and that people don't want to be involved with it. So I believe that to some degree, that there must be, and like we do it to each other, like, so that doesn't really surprise me that like if there really is something called Greys out there, that we like when we find them we torture them. I don't believe that doesn't, like, humans will fucking torture each other. We have to make laws about it all the time. If you're doing shit in dark rooms, what the fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna torture somebody. How the fuck do you turn the pyramid on? Tell us right now. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna break your little alien fingers. Tell me how to fly this thing.
Totally.
You're fucking up. I'm telepathically telling my people how to fucking murk you right now. Oh yeah? Well, we learned how to fuck with time. You can't get that message out, bitch. Tell us before we fucking waterboard you. We have powers too, motherfucker. You know, like, I guarantee you those are conversations that have been had in real reality. Like, they're easy to manifest. Like Occam's razor, like, I could so see that happening. So fucking see that happening. Like, can you not? Can you not see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
We've been trying for 20 fucking years to turn these goddamn things on. You guys have done nothing but feed us lies and told us fucking recited Nietzsche. Like, if you don't fucking tell us how to operate these things, you know, like, truth, bro. Like, there's little grays up there, and people go, no, fuck that shit. I'm not gonna work for the cartel. I'm not gonna torture people for nobody. Like, I don't care if I get to see aliens. I'm not gonna go up there and torture them. Fuck you. Like, like, no. How many times do I have to tell the U.S. government, no, I'm not gonna fucking torture people for a living. Leave me the fuck alone. Love it. It's hard to dismiss those stories, you know. Like, you have to get to the point where you're like telling me like everything I've seen is AI. Every human emotion I see on the is on the internet is AI, and it's all telling me that we shouldn't torture aliens. You know, like what? Why would that? Why would I keep hearing that over and over again? That maybe we shouldn't torture aliens. I feel like that's actually like maybe should be a Bible verse. You know. Yeah, it's Blue Eyes and Higher November
You
right
hear me?
there.
Can you hear
There
me?
you are. There you are. You're back.
Yeah, phone died.
That's fine. And you missed my awesome rant.
No, I got most of it, like 99%.
Yeah, I don't torture aliens. It's Blue Eyes and Higher November. That's how you avoid. That is how you avoid. Self-destruction. Is don't torture aliens, and I think that if enough humans think that maybe like we shouldn't torture aliens, then we're okay. And I think that's already been the case. I think the weird thing about that is, go ahead.
No, I hope so. I mean, fuck. I don't see what's really to be gained from torturing aliens, but
Does it open up anything else in your mind about like aliens and like humanity's like place in this? Do you care? Like, you don't see it as key to survival.
no.
No.
I think humanity would be fine on its own. To be totally honest.
You know, I probably would have believed that 20 years ago. I don't believe it anymore. I feel like, you know, when the Olympics are like overtly like having opening and closing ceremonies that are double worship and hedonistic and show threesomes with children and like purposely just like mock like wholesome things, I feel like that's not the case. I feel like
And you may be right, which is scary, but
like I don't look at it as a doom and gloom. I kind of feel like I said, I think that we've already figured out how to like transcend it. I think it already happened.
I think there's an ebb and a flow to these things, and the more evil and debauchery happens, the more good people will stand up against it. At least I'd like to think that, but
it kind of like comes down to like the story. Like one thing that I think that storytellers like George Lucas and J.R. Tolkien get things right a lot, but they don't get everything right. I think that like particularly, I really like the story of the Jedi. I like the idea that it's like a much more timeless kind of idea that they like. In human form kind of have been this like balancing force for not humanity, but you know what I mean, like humanoids throughout the galaxy for quite some time. And that there probably was a little bit more truth in that. However, they always talk about how the dark side of the force is only like one or two of them. I think it's the other way around. I think the dark force is much larger. And I think that it's like much easier to fall into the dark, and it's harder to be, you know, meditate and be one with the universe. and that understand that there is something beyond there is something beyond like our physical presence, that there is something like a little bit deeper, but it doesn't take much, like, and it just kind of happens naturally, and we don't have to worry so much about it, we don't have to stress so much about it. Like, it already did happen in the future. Like, there has been a group of people that have this like conscious evolution where they've learned how to escape time and have kind of surrounded us in a bubble that like left these texts and stuff all over the place, which will, as we get closer and closer to this technological singularity, we could like pop us out of it and like make enough people wake up that like we won't be lost to that hedonism that like would kind of erase humanity, where we like don't care if we get eaten up by a black hole. That like we did stay curious, and it's okay. Like, don't be of that world. You're all right. Oh, my headset's gonna die on me here in a second, so
we could end it there.
Yeah. I'll pop back on. All right, we're out. Hang on, give me a second.
Yeah.